Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. You join me today not with the S1 here in the unit today, but in fact the A45S AMG. Now quickly on the S1, there is some fresh content coming to your screen very soon. I've just been waiting for parts and I'm actually midway through filming a video at the moment. So trust me, don't worry, I haven't given up. There is content coming. But yes, that's besides the point. We are here today in the unit with my A45S AMG to be fitting some parts which, to be honest with you, I wish I had done sooner, and I'll explain why I think that in a little bit. Of course, the parts which are fitting are in this box. I think what we're going to do before I actually open this up and show you, I'm going to get the car up on the ramp because it does involve having it at a slightly more convenient height, and then the plan will be to get these parts fitted to the car, which, to be honest, I wish I'd done sooner, and anyone that runs this car or any other car on the platform, then I would recommend you run these as well. Let me explain. We'll get the car up on the ramp and we'll go from there. Car is now up on the ramp, as you can see. Now it's probably time I show you exactly what we're fitting today. Obviously from ZunSport. Now, if you know the company ZunSport, you probably have a good guess of what we're fitting today. And in fact, in this box is not actually only parts for this car, but also another one of the cars, but more on that another time. Now, in here, we have a set of protective mesh grills for the front of this car. Also a couple more bits at the end. The reason why I've gone for these, and actually a reason why I wish I'd done them sooner, is because the front of this car is very open. You know, the coolers behind here, I mean, look at the gap. I can fit my hand almost in there very easily, and therefore the coolers behind these grills are really quite vulnerable. Now, this car's done about 18,000 miles. There's definitely some impact damage from stones behind there. But let me show you more close up. I mean, you can just see how open these channels are. I mean, there's a bottle top in my hand. Something that size can very easily fit through there, you know, as you're driving along, and really do some damage to the units behind. It's the same on the exterior one. I mean, look at that gap. The front of this car and the front of a lot of modern cars are very open. And so something like this, which basically has the thinner mesh, basically just applies straight over to then mean that some much smaller objects can fit through the meshing, rather than something where you can fit your whole hand through, basically. Now, these are stainless steel grills, obviously finished in black as well, which is going to match the aesthetics of the car. We can see we've got mounting points on the back. This is just one of the outer grills. We've got the central grill as well, and we've also got some nice fitting instructions with all the hardware in a little bag in here. So in theory, should be very straightforward to fit. And then for all the miles that this car does going forward, the front end is going to be a lot more protected in terms of the units behind all of the front bodywork and everything, because we don't want some impacts with large stones or anything like that. Cool, let's get it fitted. Okay, so we're going to start off on the near side, which is actually a fake vent. However, just for the uniformity going across the front, we do actually have one of these for this as well. All you're going to need is a drill with a Phillips drill bit on the end, and then on this side we've got 3 bits of hardware to then attach this basically to the outer edge of this fake vent. So what we're going to do, get this kind of loosely lined up. It will sit basically like that, essentially. Now what I need is that one first. We're going to start with the bottom one. Doing a quick pilot hole just so then the screw can screw in nice and neatly. Moving on swiftly to the other side grille. Now this one, a little bit different. We've got one fixing that needs to go in on this side. However, what I've just done actually was quite simple off camera. I thought it was gonna be quite fiddly. There's a bracket behind here. Now, what you need to do is basically kind of fix it to the back edge of this actual OEM grille. I appreciate it's quite hard to see now that this is installed, but that is just clipped into place, meaning that that is pretty much fitted. We've just got one fixing, as I said, just in the corner here. So this one, being an actual functional grille, is a lot easier. But yeah, that's all coming together pretty nicely. We'll get this side in, and then it'll be a case of doing the central grille here, and then we'll be all done. I can already hear the comments of, why are you drilling into your car? The front end of this thing is very open, and you can already see how much damage the rads have got behind there. Luckily though, a little birdie tells me that there will be some upgraded units of this available very soon, which is kind of why I'm doing this now. I'll let you in on a little secret. But yeah, I'd much rather neatly have these installed than not, to be honest, because it just leaves the front end of this thing so vulnerable. And the roads here in the UK, especially over winter, there is grit and stones everywhere. You're gonna get a stone chip, and the worst might happen. So we'll get this one fixed in. Moving on to the final grille then for this install, and that is of course the central grille, which is going to go just under the number plate here, protecting this gaping great hole in the middle of the front end of this car. Now, we've got two fixings, one on either side. You can see the brackets for those. We've also got these 4 brackets on the back, which are similar to what was on the off side of the car, so the driver's side, where the auxiliary rad is. Now, these are basically brackets, essentially clip behind the OEM paneling, just like that, and kind of grip into place in 4 locations on the front. And then we've got the 2 bits of hardware on either end, and then it'll all be fitted. You can see tiny little gaps between the mesh. You know, it's going to be a huge improvement, even to this small little bit of OEM grille here. It's just going to provide so much protection to the front end of this car. And as I said earlier on, look at the damage in there. It's not pretty, and that's after 18,000 fairly careful miles as well. Now, another benefit of actually fitting these grills to the front is because there is such massive gaps in the front end of this car. You know, as you're driving along, especially in winter, twigs, and we've got leaves in here, everything just has space to just get in there and then basically sit between the gaps in here. Now, before I do fit this grill, I am gonna, you know, come through and clean all this in here, because theoretically from now, nothing such as this, in fact, that is a massive stone. Look at that. Stuff like that won't be able to get through. So it's worth cleaning the surface and the area in here before we fit it. I mean, just with my hands, just a little pinch at the bottom. Look at that. None of that from now, which will be good. So we're going to clean all this in here and then get the final grille fitted. I mean, look at that. Okay, so let's have a little look, see how we can do this. Ah, there we go. That's one of the top brackets in. That's the other top bracket. So, 2 bits of hardware, 2 screws ready to go in. And as well as that, with the central grille as well, we also have a guide of how to do it. There's also a QR code to watch a tutorial on YouTube as well. They should go nicely in there, and then we'll get those 2 bottom brackets in place, and then everything will all be complete. Bosh! So there we are. That is the ZunSport kit for the A45S, now all fitted. Now I don't really have to worry when I'm out and about in horrible conditions on roads with loads of loose gravel or anything like that, that the bits and bobs up at the front of the car are going to get damaged. I think it actually looks quite cool as well, because the trouble is with the front end of the car anyway is there's lots of different openings, lots of different gloss black bits, and where the front of the car is so open, you can then see the battered mesh behind it, which obviously doesn't look great, but with the ZunSport kit all installed, it looks nice and uniform, nice and fresh, which I'm really pleased about. Really easy to fit as well, probably only took me about half an hour or so, and that was obviously with filming as well. And as I said, as we were going through, there are YouTube tutorials for the fitment of both the products we fitted today. I'll probably leave both of the links to that down in the description, along with actually all the details to ZunSport. As I said earlier on in the video, so many modern cars nowadays just have no protection for the radiators or intercoolers, that kind of thing at the front of the cars, which just makes them so susceptible to damage over time, really. So yeah, by all means, if you are interested in getting a set for your car, they do a range of products for pretty much every single car you can possibly name. So check them out with the links below to learn more. But for me today, that is it. The car is now ready for its next adventure, and which is coming up pretty soon. So keep your eyes peeled. But that's it for me today. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure to subscribe for all the adventures still to come.